Hey, back to basics. It's Tanya, and this is the first week of March, and this is our mind week. And this month we're working on self-sabotage. And I think to some extent we all participate in some kind of self-sabotage. But I looked up kind of a few articles on self-sabotage just so I can make sure I had a solid understanding, because I can say that I think I do self-sabotage. And I don't necessarily always know why or when it's going to happen. And I have some ideas on things that I do to control it, but I won't say that I'm perfect in controlling it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I read in this article, and then I'll tell you how it kind of applies in my life, in my journey. So this article said self-sabotage is when you say you want something and then go about making sure it doesn't happen. And I can say that for me, I don't think I've done anything that would ensure that my success as it applies to the weight loss journey doesn't happen, because I've reached goal and I've been maintaining. But in the beginning of my journey, I don't think I did any self-sabotage. I was on point constantly. But of course you can't live like that forever. So now I probably deal with more self-sabotage in the last 6 months to a year than what I did in the beginning. And it says that some of the reasons why we might self-sabotage would be that we're more familiar with failure, which I think all of us who have gone on this weight loss journey, we're all extremely familiar with failure. We've all tried a ton of diets and had success and then failure, success and then failure. So that feels comfortable to us to a certain extent. We didn't like it, but it's familiar. So that's a reason why we could self-sabotage. We have a feeling of being unworthy, and I think to some extent that it depends on who we are. Some people feel more unworthy than others. I don't think I felt unworthy. I think everybody has some moments of feeling unworthy, but I always felt like I could be a better person. I just didn't quite know. I didn't have the tool to get there, and my VSG gave me the tool to get there. But I realize that some people do have self-esteem issues and self-confidence issues that may cause you to not feel worthy. And when you don't feel worthy, you feel like, why bother? Bad habits. I certainly had bad habits from before surgery. And I'll tell you that some of my bad habits, well, my worst bad habit right now is nighttime eating. If I could control my nighttime eating and not do any nighttime eating, I would be fine, because I'm usually on point from the time I get up in the morning till probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or sometime after lunch. And even sometimes I'm on point until dinner time. And then after I eat dinner, after I put the kids to bed or something, I want to come down and have snacks, not because I'm hungry, but just because it's a bad habit. I never did any nighttime eating when I was in my losing phase, and I wish I wouldn't have started. I wish I could have let my last meal be my last meal. I've tried several things to combat it, and I think I'm going to talk about that next week. But yeah, bad habits, and they're hard to break, but you can break them, because there's a lot of bad habits that I had prior to surgery that I have broken. So, and then a need for excitement. And I think that's what I've been battling with lately. I've been, when it comes to self-sabotage, and I'll talk about this a little bit more next week. But I definitely have a need for excitement lately, where I am in my journey. So, and for me, it's been through alcohol, not through food, and just a need to have fun. And so, you can drink alcohol sometimes, it's fun, but that is a lot of unneeded calories, unnecessary calories. And not stopping can cause you to gain weight. So, like I said, I'll talk about that more in next week's video. So ways to combat self-sabotage is said to observe yourself as if you were watching someone else, and not to beat up on yourself, but to really step back and look and see, why am I doing X, Y, and Z? Why am I procrastinating to start this project or to get back on track? Or because I'm a procrastinator too. That just in general in life, I'm a procrastinator. But look at yourself as if you're looking at somebody else and think, why would that person be doing this? And then try and apply what you learn to make the changes in your own life. It said believe in success isn't black or white. It's not all or nothing. And I think that is a real key. I know a lot of people beat themselves up over, you set a number goal and I want to be not this weight by this time. And then you don't meet it. And then it's like, well, hell, I didn't make that. So why should I even try? No, you need to, I see so many people that don't pat themselves on the back for how far they have come in their journey and how much better they are now. And I think success isn't black and white. It kind of goes back to like the BMI chart. Just because I'm not in a healthy BMI, I'm still usually, I fluctuate right at the top of a healthy BMI or right at the bottom of an overweight BMI. And you know what? I think I look and feel healthy. I am healthy. So if I let the BMI define whether I was successful or not, I would feel like I was not a success. But I don't feel that way because I don't live by that black and white. I'm either good or bad. No. Success is your definition of success. My definition for my weight loss journey is to eat healthy, get my fitness in. And if I'm doing those things, then I'm good. I'm healthy. Number 3, progress, not perfection. And that's it. If you feel like you're constantly making yourself a better person and you're never going to reach that perfect. And I think a lot of us have like control issues. I know I have control issues. And you feel like you want to be a perfectionist. If I can't do this to the max and be the best at it, I'm not doing it. I'm really bad about that. But constantly remind yourself, this is about progress and making yourself a better person. Not being a perfect person, but making yourself a better person. Making better habits, those kind of things. Think beyond yourself and if your actions are hurting others. If there's things that you do in your self-sabotage that would hurt others. Now, the article kind of talked about, like, if you are working on a project with other people that you work with and your self-sabotage is also going to make them look bad. I'm not quite sure how I would apply that to the journey, but that's just one of the things they had listed as things to think about to stop the self-sabotage. And then 5, it said, explore life. Be open to things that could have a good or a bad result. And that could be, I think about that as like trying new exercises. There's so many things that I have tried that, like, I really wanted to try spinning about, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. I just thought, I just want to do spinning. It looks like so much fun. I went to one class and I did not like it. I didn't. It just wasn't for me. But getting out there and trying new things and being okay that if I don't like it, it's not that I'm not an athlete, I'm not an exerciser, I will never be fit. No, I just didn't like that particular thing. I'm going to try something else now. I never thought I'd like doing the elliptical. And then I went through a whole phase where I did only the elliptical for months. One of my goals for 2014 is to try yoga. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I hope I do. It looks like something that I think would be good for relaxing and stretching and sweating. But I have plans to try it. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. That's okay. So that's the things that the article talked about. I'm going to go back to our questions for this week. It just said, do you self-sabotage? And like I said, I think everybody self-sabotages to some extent. What do you think causes you to make the choice to self-sabotage? And I'll tell you, for me, I think the things that cause me to make bad choices or choices to self-sabotage are lack of planning and not staying in control. When it comes to food, like shopping, if I don't have a good shopping list, I will buy things that are off my list and I will rationalize, like especially nuts and those French's onion strings or whatever that you put like on salads and then you make the green bean casserole with. I'll buy those and just eat it straight out the can when I am not planning. If I'm not planning my meals, I don't have a good grocery list, the lack of planning and the lack of control will cause me to self-sabotage. If I don't get up and do my workouts first thing in the morning on the weekend or right when I get home from work during the weekdays, I will talk myself out of doing whatever it is I should be doing. So if I don't have a plan in place, all mapped out for myself, then I will self-sabotage and not make myself do the right thing. So mine is the lack of planning that causes me to self-sabotage. And the feelings that I have when I make bad food choices, sometimes it's when I feel when I get upset about something and I feel like I have a lack of a control of the situation, that will cause me to want to snack. Not that I'm hungry, not that I need to eat something, but, you know, I think we all can easily slip back into that emotional eating. Like, if I can't control that situation, I'm going to control what I put in my mouth, which it should be I'm going to control what I'm not going to put in my mouth. But when you're in that emotional state, it can happen. So you almost need to talk to yourself. And sometimes I can talk myself out of it. Like, I am not doing this. You know, I'm going to stay in control. And I don't need it. But sometimes we can't. And the key is to not beat yourself up. And if you do something to self-sabotage, you eat something you shouldn't, you eat after a certain time that you didn't want to, let it be that it's happened, it's over with, forgive yourself, and move on to the next day. If you keep beating yourself up over it, like, oh, why did I let that happen? I shouldn't have done that, then it's going to spiral out of control. So try not to do that. Sometimes I do that. Let's see. How does future thinking as opposed to mindful thinking affect the choice to self-sabotage or not? Well, it kind of goes back to like the mindful thinking is just for me that's the pre-planning. If I know what I'm planning on eating, what I'm planning on wearing, when I'm planning on exercising, how I'm planning on shopping, if I plan, I'm mindfully thinking about what I'm going to do to help myself stay on track. And when I get really down and I feel like I really want to go off track, what I try and do is try on clothes and appreciate where I am now as to where I was 2 years ago or 2.5, 3 years ago. And remind myself that I don't want to go back there. No matter how good something feels right now in the moment, I don't want to go back to that place just because something feels good right now. Sometimes I win that battle, sometimes I don't. But I think as long as you're winning it more than losing it, you're going to do fine. And I just try to not beat myself up on the days that I lose that battle. So that's my mind week for self-sabotage. And I look forward to coming back next week. It's going to be the body week. And we'll talk about how self-sabotage affects our bodies and how we handle that. All right? You'll have a fabulous week. And I'll see you next week with another Back to Basics vlog. Bye, guys.